low at so the 20-day got taken out yesterday. And this morning what we said is the next level is the 40 exponential day moving average. And that is at 18,116. And as we speak, we've crossed that level. We're at 18,120. So this is looking good, and gains are coming on pretty fast now. Some momentum which has been missing on the upside, that showing up in the last 2 hours of trade yesterday and today as well. Now let's talk about commodities and what's happening there. Manisha is standing by as always to tell us what is top of mind. Manisha, hi, morning.
Morning. Top of mind is metals, Prashant, and within that as well it is copper, which has been doing quite well. January actually is going to be a second straight month of gains continuing in case of the copper prices. And as I've been telling you, the low that we started, that upline trend was from 640 of a level and 772. We haven't seen a meaningful correction in case of copper prices since then. It has been about lower supplies, increase in demand that has been supportive, is the reason you have the copper prices right now trading at a 7-month highs there. There are inventory concerns, yes, and production concerns also, because Peru is facing its worst civil unrest in last 20 years. There are supply concerns because of that. And Chile, which is the other major producer of copper, is expecting 6% of a decline in production in 2023. Well, that's about production there. Take a look at, in sense of inventories, that and LME and Shanghai futures inventories at 186.4 thousand tons is just about 2 days of global consumption. And it's not just about copper. If you look at overall LME inventories, we ended 2022 nearly half down of what we ended December 2021 at. So there have been sharp declines in global inventories across market when you look at all of those metals there. So 654,000 tons is what 2022 ended at. And from this as well, nearly 50 to 60% of tonnage is waiting for physical loadout. That would mean much of this metal is already marked for physical deliveries. So what LME would remain with is at around 357,000 tons of metals, and that's just about it. And that is the reason you have seen this 8 to 15% of a jump up in the month of Jan for many of these metal prices. When you look at copper itself, well, the Shanghai warehouse stocks ended 2028 at the lowest since 2007. So we have seen decline not just on LME but in New York and on Shanghai exchanges as well. For copper, essentially, we are looking at support also because the net longs on COMEX are the highest since April 2022. So people are believing in metals and in copper. And the first half of January actually is about weightages, reallocations of funds. And we have seen some of that come in for copper. Now, China is heading for Lunar New Year holidays in the next week, so there has been some restocking ahead of that. But the next week is expected to be quite calm. Also, the weak Chinese data that we've seen come in for the month of December can weigh onto the markets in the next week. This week, we still are looking at some restocking support. For the day today, it is going to be about the US PPI, retail sales, industrial production data. All of that is coming in today, and ahead of that, we have seen some strength in dollar index. That could also lead to some profit taking, is the reason you're looking at very slow gains into the metal prices right now. When you look at the outlook there, most people do believe that copper prices can gain from here. There are expectations at 772. We could be headed at 780, 810 as well on the higher side in days to come.
Okay, thanks a lot for that.